Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Parliamentarian Sajid Premadasa says life is not difficult for those who rob public money. He expressed this view at a function in Ruwanwella.
The function was organised to donate financial aid to the Daigalasri Bodhiraja Rama Viharasthana in Ruwanwella under the Sasunata Aruna program. When you look at the country today, money is being robbed from everything. Money is being robbed from petrol, diesel and kerosene, wheat flour, milk powder, from the port, highways and even from the concrete that is being laid on the roads. This is the era that we live in and it is not a new thing. Living is not a difficult task for those who rob public money.
In business news, official government statistics reveal that the budget deficit grew beyond the forecasted target in the first 4 months of the year. The mid-year financial report released by the Ministry of Finance and Planning reveals that in the first 4 months of the year, the government's current expenditure exceeded the tax income by a large amount.
According to statistics, government revenue for the first 4 months of the year was 305.5 billion rupees, which is an increase of 7.2% in comparison with the same time frame last year. Government current expenditure in the same time frame was 445.3 billion rupees, an increase of 23.6% in comparison with last year. Accordingly, the deficit between government current expenditure and revenue for the first 4 months of the year was 139.8 billion rupees. The government's capital expenditure in this time frame was 152.4 billion rupees, leaving the total budget deficit at 285.8 billion rupees. The Ministry of Finance and Planning says that 198.7 billion rupees was obtained locally and 87 billion rupees were obtained internationally to bridge the budget deficit. India has made the highest loan allocations for Sri Lanka in the first 4 months of the year. $443 million were provided as loans and $257.3 million were provided as grants. The Finance Ministry report states that the grants received from India was for 49,000 houses to be constructed in the north, east, central and over provinces. In addition, Japan has provided $162.7 million in loans and $12.6 million in grants, while the Netherlands provided $102.5 million in loans. Notably, China has allocated only $32.5 million for the country in the given time frame.
The Olympic medals were handed over to the Tower of London, where they will be placed under lock and key for safekeeping purposes.
The Tower of London, used by British monarchs for over 600 years, took delivery of its newest treasure when 4,700 gold, silver and bronze Olympic medals were handed over for safekeeping until the Games. Meanwhile, the Olympic flame travelled through 12 communities on its journey from Leicester to Peterborough today. The flame began the day at the National Space Centre. In the meantime, yesterday, 2 children breached the security cordon and tried to snatch the Olympic flame from a torchbearer in Coventry. It happened at about 6:20 GMT as a group of 5 National Health Service workers were running in tandem through the city. 2 boys dressed in black managed to avoid security and attempted to grab the torch before they were ushered away by the police.
The proposed trade union action organized by the university teachers will be launched tomorrow. This was after a discussion held between the Secretary to the President Lalit Veeratunga and the Federation of University Teachers Associations failed to bring forth any solutions to the issues faced by university teachers.
We had a very friendly and fruitful discussion with Mr. Lalit Veeratunga, the Secretary to His Excellency the President. What was agreed upon at the end of the meeting is to meet again after 1 week, and so we wanted them, Mr. Veeratunga and the government delegation, to come up with a concrete, the proposal in order to address our concerns. And so they agreed, and so they agreed to give their response within a week. And as far as the trade union action is concerned, it will start tomorrow in the form of a continuous strike. So there's no change in that decision. But we are ready to review the decision when we meet again next week.
Minister of Telecommunication, Information Technology, Ranjit Siyambalapitiya says there are instances where computers are used to propagate malicious information. The minister expressed this view at a function held in Doravaka, Varakapula today.
A Nanasala Centre was declared open at the Doravaka Siri Sila Vimala Piriven Viharaya in Varakapula by Minister Ranjit Siyambalapitiya. Anything can be used in a negative way. It is the same with the computer. The computer where the Tripitaka had been uploaded can be used for harmful activities. We have seen instances where the computer has been used to propagate malicious information. I saw in a newspaper that websites are being used to sling mud at the government and the people. The police have raided such a place with a court order. The responsibility lies with society to use resources properly.
A very good evening to you and welcome to Sports First on Primetime News with me, Nadim Majid. We start off with a look at some action from day 4 of the second test between Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Now, Kumar Sangakkara surpassed Sir Donald Bradman in the list of test century scorers after reaching his 30th century on day 4 of the second test between Sri Lanka and Pakistan.
The men entrusted with
the match was played at the SSC grounds in Colombo. Sri Lanka resumed day 4 on an overnight score of 70 for 1. Kumar Sangakkara reached another milestone this morning when he became the second batsman to score 2,000 runs at the SSC grounds in Colombo after Mahela Jayawardena.
The former show in company with another former captain, Dilshan. Congrats.
Meanwhile, Tilakaratne Dilshan scored his 13th century in Test match cricket. In the process, Dilshan also became the 8th Sri Lankan batsman to reach 5,000 Test runs.
Great style to get his 100 in. Beautiful shot.
Sangakkara, who notched up his 30th Test century, surpassed Sir Don Bradman, who has 29 Test centuries to his name. He also passed Aravinda De Silva to register the most number of centuries against Pakistan by a Sri Lankan batsman.
He has overcome and he's done any first.
Dilshan was finally out for a well-made 121. Sri Lanka then lost a couple of quick wickets as skipper Mahela Jayawardena and Thiran Samaraweera returned to the pavilion without troubling the scorers. Incidentally, this is the first time that Mahela Jayawardena has been out for a duck at the SSC grounds. Night watchman Suraj Randi was also dismissed in the last over of the day for 5. Sri Lanka were 278 for 5 at stumps on day 4, trailing by 273 runs in their first innings. Sangakkara remained unbeaten on 144. Earlier, Pakistan declared their first innings on 551 for 6. Tomorrow is the final day of the second test match.
By Sangakkara, but picked up 4 wickets. Great session for Pakistan.
Well, Sangakkara expressed these views on his performance today at the post-play media briefing.
I thought Dilshan batted beautifully. Unfortunate that he got out at that time, but I thought the Pakistanis held their nerve at the end, and with the old ball reversing, they managed to kind of shift the momentum their way. Tomorrow, if we bat a session, I think that's going to be a solid effort from us. We need to get another 74 runs to avoid a follow-on. I think that's our first target. Everyone chipping in, trying to rotate the strike, make sure we put the loose balls away, and get to that target first, and then reassess from there. It's a great honour to get to 30 hundreds. It's something that I've always set myself when I started playing cricket, and when I started getting hundreds. 30 is kind of a solid mark for a batsman, but hopefully above and beyond that, with more matches to play. Whether the top 10 list features the Don or not, he's always going to be the greatest batsman that's played the game. The fact is that I've played a lot more test matches than he has. If he's probably played the amount I've had, there would be no chance of catching him.
Well, that's a look at Primetime News for tonight. I'm Sonali Wanigabadage.
And I'm Ravi Gamage. Thanks for watching. Good night.